Hey guys! Today we're going to be taking a look at 7 tips that will hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to get through airport security this holiday season. And as anybody who's traveled during the holidays knows, it can be a really stressful experience. And going through airport security can be one of the worst parts. So while these tips won't fully eliminate the stresses that come with holiday travel, hopefully it will help make one part of your trip at least a little bit smoother. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our list. And so jumping right in, the first tip on the list is to arrive early. And this can seem really obvious, but there are many travelers who like to arrive really close to when their flight is going to leave. And I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is to arrive when you're just cutting it close to your flight and see a humongous line waiting for you at airport security. Sometimes you might get lucky and be let through if your flight is about to board, but if not, you're just gonna have to sit in line and watch people move at a glacial pace, all the while stressing out about whether your flight is gonna leave you. So you can help avoid a lot of that worry if you just arrive to the airport a little bit earlier. The next tip on the list is to wear a jacket or a blazer. And this isn't something that I always did, especially when I was traveling to warmer climates, but what I realized after traveling with a jacket a few times is that it really gives you a lot of convenience to be able to take all the items out of your pocket and be able to place them into your jacket so that you can easily just throw everything into a bin instead of having to remove the individual items and then having to track them down later. So I really like to travel with something like the Bovax Travel Sweatshirt 2.0. Another jacket that I've used a lot is the Amazon Essentials Puffer Jacket, and both of those have a lot of zippered and deep pockets where I can take things like my wallet, my phone, my AirPods, anything that I have to take out of my pockets, I can just toss in here, and then this goes right into a bin, and then I can pick it up on the other side of the security line and be on my way a lot quicker, and there's also less chance that I'm gonna leave something behind. The next tip on the list is to always remove your belt. I've seen some airports that don't ask you to do this, and so there are many times where I see passengers that are in line kind of waiting to ask the security agent whether they have to take it off or not. I say just remove it right away as quickly as possible so that you can toss it into your backpack or into the bin quickly and not have to wait right up until you get to the line to decide whether you're gonna take it on and off and possibly cause some delays for the people behind you. Tip number 4 is to wear shoes that are easy to remove when you get to the security line. If you've seen any of my travel bag videos, you know that I really like to travel with things like Toms. These Sperry boating shoes are also a pair of shoes that I take with me a lot, and it's always nice to be able to just arrive at the line and not have to worry about things like laces so that I can easily just take my shoes off, toss them into the bin, and then when I get to the other side, I can just get into them really quickly. And I understand it won't always be possible to travel with this style of shoes, especially if you have boots or heavier shoes that you don't want to pack in your carry-on bag. And in that case, what I typically do is just unlace my shoes as early as possible in line so that when I get up to the front, I can just slip my feet out and place them in the bin quickly. The next tip on the list is to take everything out of your pockets before you even get into the security line. I know it's not always possible to remember to do this, especially when you're rushing, but I found many times that if I just take all the items out and place them either into my jacket, as I mentioned in one of the earlier tips, or just somewhere in my carry-on bag that I'm gonna be placing on the conveyor belt, it always makes the process a lot smoother instead of having to kind of juggle my bag and things like my phone and my wallet while I'm actually moving through the line and everybody's kind of behind me waiting for me to move forward. So the earlier that you can get that done, or if you can avoid doing it in line at all, it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. Tip number 6 is to keep your laptop and liquids easily accessible. I've seen people fall kind of into this trap where you don't always have to take your liquids out, or you'll try to use one of those lay flat laptop compartments on travel bags where you think you don't have to take your laptop out, and that typically causes some confusion and frustration with both the people in line and the security agents. So I always try to just avoid any confusion and just take those things out regardless, even if it's in an airport where maybe they're not as strict with it. I always just go ahead and take my laptop out. I leave my liquids at a compartment near the top where I can reach in and grab them quickly if I'm asked to take them out. And so just keeping those things in mind will help you move a lot smoother through the line and keep everybody behind you from getting too frustrated. And then the last tip is to not sit and organize all of your stuff after getting through security right there at the conveyor belt. Typically what I like to do when I get through security is just grab my jacket that normally has all the smaller items that I would normally have to take out of my pockets, grab my bag, put my shoes on, and then walk to the gate where I can calmly sit down and kind of organize everything that I had to take off to go through security. I see many people that try to put their shoes on right at the conveyor belt, put their laptop back in, they have to grab multiple bins so that they can make sure that they don't leave all of their stuff behind, and that can be really stressful, and in my opinion it just seems more likely like something is going to get left behind. So you can save yourself a little bit of stress if you just grab all your stuff quickly, especially if you place the items into a jacket, as I mentioned in one of the earlier tips, and just move somewhere where there's less people and you can just sit down and calmly organize all of your stuff. And so that's it. That's our list of 7 tips for getting through airport security a little bit more easily. Hopefully there was something there that can help make your trip a little bit smoother. And if there are any tips or hacks that you know of for making airport security lines a little bit less painful, please let me know in the comments. And if you guys found this video helpful and you'd like to see more lists like this in the future, please go ahead and give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you guys so much.